done everything we can to make America what it is. We try to have veterans perform this ceremony. Anytime we have to change who it is, there's kind of a transition that goes through. We've asked Guardian to do it this year. First, I want to introduce our missing man table. It's not to Google standards, but it's the way we do it. We got a bottle of Lead Slinger whiskey and a helmet here, our reserve spot, and then a shot for our fallen and missing soldiers. And this will remain up all week in remembrance of them. And so as we do the grog, there will be a leaded and unleaded grog. Leaded grog will be for everyone who is of legal age to partake in liquor. The unleaded grog will be for everybody who is not of age. Now, if you're of age, you can choose from either grog, so that's a thing. But I will say that traditionally, the leaded grog is not nearly as challenging as the unleaded grog. So the younger folks will certainly have your taste buds sharpened for Omaha Beach, and you will be saltier than your older compatriots. So with that, I'll introduce Guardian to you, and we'll get started. Thanks, everybody.
All right, listen, Gunslinger, you're ready off. How's it going, guys? My name's Guardian. I'm a United States Army vet, so this is pretty important. It's important to all the vets that are out here. I'll try not to screw it up. Not a big public speaker, so wait on Gunslinger to come up. Gunslinger's going to be pouring all the ingredients for you guys, so good luck with that. You got Bunker over here, which is going to be Mr. Vice. Mr. Vice is able to give you however many shots he sees fit for any complaints, squabbling, quibbling, arguing, or if he just sees you and he feels like you need to take a shot. If you refuse the shot, then you have Punisher. He's the SOA. He will enforce that. He will drag you up here kicking and screaming all the way up. No, I'm just playing. So, here we go. I did some just fun and interesting facts, try to keep it upbeat. I've had a tough week, so I didn't want a bunch of sad and all that good stuff. So we're going to start with the American Revolution from 1775 to 1783. This is a pretty interesting fact. I didn't know this whenever I read it. History's first submarine was used in 1776 in this war. It was used in New York Harbor in 1776, and these guys set out in a submarine that was just made out of 6-inch thick timbers coated in tar. Thought that was pretty neat. So, what are we adding for this?
In honor of the American soldiers who fought in the American Revolution, to the unleaded version, we're adding iced tea.
Not that bad, huh, guys? That ain't bad. Just iced tea. Could be worse.
Good start.
It's a good start, right? Good base.
To the leaded version, hard iced tea.
See?
Yummy.
Yeah, yummy. That ain't bad.
Looking forward to it. Good time.
Matt, get one of those.
All right.
Right here. There's one right here. Oh, there's one right there. Never mind. Yeah, right here.
So the next war in American history is the Mexican-American War from 1861 to 1865. This is a pretty interesting war. I found this interesting, that the occupation and separation of Texas was considered a conspiracy for them to take over the territory to make future and bigger slave states. Generals Grant, Ambrose Burnside, Stonewall Jackson, and Robert E. Lee all fought in this war. So I thought that was pretty cool that these guys were privates like us, some of you guys just out there, you know, ground pounding away. So what are we ordering up for this one?
For the American soldiers who fought and died in the Mexican-American War, to the unleaded version, we're adding hot sauce. And to the leaded version, tequila.
Mr. Vice, we get your help with this hot sauce.
Yes, sir.
So we can keep moving forward.
That's good.
That's good? That's all you want to put in there? Okay, they're getting off easy. Never mind. Okay, there we go. Mr. Vice says we need more. All right, the next war is the American Civil War. From 1861 to 1865, it's considered one of the bloodiest American wars that we've ever fought. This is interesting too. I didn't know this until I read about it. In 1863, the U.S. government confiscated Robert E. Lee's estate for back taxes of $92.07. I know, right? Man, I could say some other things about people that are around now that have gotten away with much worse. Lincoln gave the permission to build a cemetery on his estate. So this way, if he came back, he could see everything in theory that he's caused throughout that war. It is now known as Arlington Cemetery. What are we adding for this one?
In honor of the American citizens and their blood that shed on both sides of the American Civil War, we are adding to both tomato juice.
That's a really good day. We're making a Bloody Mary here, guys. The next American War is the Spanish-American War of 1898. I thought this was really interesting too. The cruiser USS Charleston arrived off the shores of Guam so they could engage and capture that island. They fired only 12 rounds into the city of Guam. That's whenever an officer rode out to check out what's going on. To his surprise, they took him and captured him and commenced to beach to take this island. And well, they didn't even know that the war had started too much earlier. So they took that with no casualties, no U.S. casualties. So what are we adding for that one?
In honor of the American soldiers who fought in the Spanish-American War, we are adding to the leaded version spiced rum. And to the unleaded version, spicy Doritos.
Oh my God.
They're broken. I won't use all your flash.
I appreciate that. All right. World War I from 1917 to 1918, and I think anybody in command will kind of get a kick out of this if they had to do this now on Omaha Beach. All right. More than 500,000 pigeons carried messages between headquarters and the front lines. This is how people got their orders, when they needed to move, when they needed to attack, and when they needed help. Well, what's funny about that is they parachuted those pigeons in. So could you imagine out there fighting, bullets whizzing by, and your RTO guy says, "Cover me, buddy, I'm going to get that crate of pigeons because we need some backup over here." So I thought that was interesting and pretty funny. I couldn't imagine out there fighting away and see 500,000 pigeons jumping out of planes like airborne. I mean, if you guys want to compare pigeons to airborne, that's up to you. So what are we adding
For those American soldiers who fought in World War I, to the leaded version, we are adding bourbon whiskey.
Woo! And I didn't mean to insult the pigeons. I mean airborne. Sorry for airborne guys out here.
To the unleaded version, barbecue sauce.
Of course,
I got it.
Yeah.
never mind, we got it.
That's how you get it. To the leaded version, we're adding red wine.
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh yeah.
That's him.
To the unleaded version,
I've never done this before now. It's not like Angel drinks a bunch of wine where this might have happened once or twice.
Never.
Never. All right, we got the Korean War from 1950 to 1953. This is pretty cool. This is for all you ladies out here fighting today, this week, and on Omaha Beach. An estimated 86,300 women made up the Korean Army, which made up 7% of the Army was women in that war. So I thought that was pretty amazing, and I wanted to get that out there for all you ladies fighting this week on Friday and Saturday. What are we adding for this war?
For the Korean War, to the unleaded version, we are adding soy sauce. Maybe.
I have fingernails.
No,
So does Matt.
Ah, there we go. Soy sauce. To the leaded version, sake.
All right. We got the Vietnam War from 1959 to 1975. This is pretty cool. During the war, Ray Vendez performed possibly the most heroic act, 6 hours of a battle any soldier ever has. When faced over 1,000 NVA troops, he flew his chopper in to save 12 special forces. I mean, could you imagine that? And with only a knife, he got out of his chopper, charged the enemy to give those guys time to get to his chopper. Those 12 special forces recovered his body and brought it back to the chopper, and whenever they were putting him into a body bag, he opened his eyes and spit in the medic's face and told him he wasn't done. And those 12 special forces guys made it home because that one man flew down, got out of his chopper, and charged every one of them with just a knife. So I thought that was pretty amazing. So to honor him and the Vietnam veterans, what are we adding?
To the leaded version, we're adding vodka. And the unleaded version, coffee.
All right, we're into the Cold War. I thought this was pretty neat. It's kind of silly. It's got a silly name. During the Cold War, the CIA launched Operation Kitty. Thought that was a pretty funny name. Where they implanted wires on cats, releasing these cats all over, believing that they would be able to eavesdrop on Soviets' conversations. I mean, leave it to the CIA, just round up a bunch of stray cats, throw a bunch of wires in them, and think that was what was going to do it for them. So, what are we adding for the Cold War?
For the Cold War, we are adding to the leaded version Smirnoff Ice, to the unleaded version Gatorade Ice.
All right. This one's for the tank guys. The guys driving the tanks, riding in the tanks, and all that cool stuff. Guys that served in the military as tankers, like this gentleman right here. I thought this was pretty cool. In the Gulf War, the longest recorded on-tank kill shot was just over 5,100 meters, or over 3 miles, by a British Challenger 1 battle tank. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool, because any of you playing paintball this week, I'm sure you're tired of getting long-balled. And I'm pretty sure that's the way those guys in that tank felt. That they just got long-balled. By this tank, they're cruising around, and 3 miles away, they just get hammered right in the top of the head. I don't know if any of that's happened to you guys today, or this week, but it's happened to me a few times. So I thought that was pretty neat. What are we adding for this, my friend?
All right. For the Gulf War, we're adding to the leaded version Fireball Whiskey. To the unleaded version, molasses.
You're gonna be here for a while.
It's gonna be a bit. Yeah.
And at this time, for the War on Terror from 2001 to present, I'd like to call Rev up to do the ceremonies on that one.
Anybody here not know anything about the War on Terror? If you don't know about the War on Terror, raise your hand. Anybody that's not a child that don't know about it. We all know what's going on. You can have whatever opinion you like. We're all Americans. We're in this together. In 2001, our country changed. And how things have gone since then, you can have, like I said, you can have one opinion or another, but the one thing that we absolutely must do is stand behind our men and women in uniform. You know, we heard growing up that the guys that went to Vietnam didn't come back the same. And we didn't have it like they had it. We came home to steak dinners and free ice cream and stuff like that. My veterans out here, am I right? We didn't have it like the Vietnam guys, but we still didn't come back the same. None of us. They're playing that game in the morning for Save 22, and I encourage all y'all to get out and play that game, but even more so, please donate anything you've got. You know, if you don't have but just a little. Last year I was telling people, if you got a quarter, give them a quarter. Everything helps. The reason I'm up here getting all soggy, I came up here so we wouldn't get soggy, is because we found out last night that one of Guardian's dear friends, another veteran, took his own life last night. It's very serious. We got to do everything we can to comfort each other. Veteran, not veteran, civilian, we got to be there for one another. The world is not going to become a better place unless we love each other. And no matter what our ideals and our politics and our religions, we got to be able to find some kind of common ground. I'm not sure what we're adding to the grog for this other than my freaking tears. But I would ask you all just to take a moment of silence for everybody that's serving and everybody that we haven't brought home from this particular conflict. Thank you.
They're melted, so it's going to go in a lot easier. Representing the United States of America, red, white, and blue popsicles. To both.
I said, that's American corn syrup.
There we go. Leaky.
All right. Do we have any vets out here serving, signed up, retired from any American war that we've gone through?
On your feet.
Please stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, look around you. You know, these guys that are out here having a good time. Give them a round of applause. This concludes.
No. You got to call your back commanders up to make sure it's safe for human consumption.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Do we have anybody that wishes to add anything to the grog?
Oh, do we have anyone that wishes to add anything to the grog? Oh, I got a hand. Come on up. Should have been prepared for that.
I got it. Sap in the meantime. So, you know, years ago, the advertisement for Mountain Dew was "Do the Do," right? That's just their slogan, "Do the Do." Well, a few years back when we initiated that, or initiated the grog here at the First ID, it was a pretty popular slogan for them at that time, and it's still good for today. I'm asking you to do Omaha. So, for the unleaded, at least something a little decent to taste. Wow, I think it's moving. Dude.
That means it's good.
Whoa! Shit. For our leaded, well, you know, who needs a little bit more rum? Everybody needs a little bit more rum. Rum is good.
It's made from sugar. Sugar is awesome. It's natural.
So, thank you.
Here comes Owen.
Owen said, what do you have?
Hey, we don't allow. I don't know what y'all are cooking back there, but we don't allow.
Hey everybody, my brother is in the Army right now, and he is a D-Day veteran, an Omaha veteran and stuff, and my dad gave me this moonshine bourbon stuff that was distilled in Grog, where me and Ted are from, so I thought, you know, what better way to throw my respect to Ted than put this in the grog, so
The other grog and all the kids will see goodness.
Ooh, I like that idea.
This one's
Anybody else got anything they want to add?
I got you.
Okay, all right.
Blue Moon Belgian White, my favorite beer. Started drinking it when I was in North Carolina with all my buddies. I can't think of anything better to say than this goes out to them. You know, served in the 82nd Airborne Division with them for 3 years, and I couldn't be happier.
That's funny because I was at Bragg for 5 years and I hated it.
We all.
Red.
Secrets in school though, so was Sharpies.
That's the 2A2.
All right, anybody else?
Bless you.
3 years ago, I decided to join up and come to D-Day because I'd always heard about how great it was. Never had a chance to play in all the years I was in Wichita. I flipped a coin and picked Allies, and because I went to Kansas State, I decided to join up with the 1st Infantry Division.
Best decision you ever made.
Best decision I made. For
Well,
paintball.
second best. Your pictures of your wife are pretty good.
After my first year, I didn't want to be anywhere else. I loved the first ID. I loved taking Omaha. We took it in 26 minutes, and we're going to do it in 24 this year,
Amen to that.
according to Rep. Last year, I wasn't able to come because life happened. But I decided to bring back with me, after I moved, some of the juice of the feijoa fruit, which grows in New Zealand. Unfortunately, it was a really cold summer, so we weren't able to harvest our olives, nor for me to bring olive oil as well. But despite what immigration would say, I decided to go ahead and just smuggle it in for us.
Wait, where'd you smuggle it in from?
New Zealand.
No, I'm talking about where you have it when you brought it in.
Too late now.
Right now.
I don't know if I'll be able to be with us in the next couple years, but I sure as hell know I'm going to be on Saturday, and that's going to be right with you on that hill.
All right. I need all the back commanders to come up and make sure this is worthy.
That's you, Art.
Art, get up here.
Don't look so happy, Jake.
Right.
Always.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Get that cue all in on.
Okay.
Get up here. You're making sure you're on.
You're doing a make
Oh, okay. Hey, I like it.
safe consumption.
I got you. You got that on? I got you.
I was just in
Yeah.
Just launch it.
link arms.
Let's go. If I shake like that new character that picks names, it means it's good.
Good. All right.
That is good.
All right, this time what we'd like you to do is line up. If you're going to come to the unleaded grog, come in through here. Instead, just line up and get your grog shots, and then go back out to your chairs through here. Same.
But before we do that, I did talk to some guys. I know some of you may have some allergies or some intolerances, and that is perfectly fine. Going through the list of ingredients, not many of them had any issues, but there could be, if you have a nut allergy or a gluten intolerance, things like that. We don't suggest, none of this is mandatory. When we say come up and get something, what we want you to do is participate. You can participate with a bottle of water, you can participate with your own drink. It's a-okay, but if you do have any kind of allergies or intolerances, you don't need to do this. Sir?
Well, I have allergies, and I wanted to take part in it, so I made my own broth. It's all edible stuff. And I was wondering if maybe those two gentlemen wanted to see if it was worthy enough.
Well, okay, bring it up.
Bring it on up.
Challenger up here.
Okay, wait a minute. We're going to have a question here.
A wild grog is in here.
All right.
Get your shot.
We were
Take
not
your
present.
seat. and don't take your shot until everybody has one.
But also, I want to give this guy credit because I told him the exact same thing I just told you. You can toast with a bottle of water. It's fine. We don't care. He said, no, I'm going to make my own grog. And while I'm going to put some nasty stuff into it, hopefully it'll be edible. So I'm curious what Jake and Art think. And if they think it's good, I want you to add some to the unleaded.
Would you be able to prove to me
that
this is all natural?
I want to say,
just do this.
I mean, it's got like grape jelly in it. You know, it's just a little.
Is it all food you get from the supermarket?
Yes, yes. It's what I.
There's nothing out of the sanitary sewer system.
I went to the food tent over at my tent, and I just took everything that was semi-liquid and threw it together.
Come on up.
It's no dirt, no.
Come on up.
We got sand and peel. I just got no alcohol.
Where's my partner in crime?
He's right here. Oh, right here. Give him a little bit of this. Give him a little bit of this.
What's the first?
That is a
Hey, let me see this. Let me see this.
Get back.
Hey, let me see this.
That was chunky.
Yeah, I think I put some pretzels in there, maybe an Oreo.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. I am so sorry, kids. Oh, that's strong. No, it's a. All right, there you go. He's got his grog. Okay, come on up again. Don't take your shot. Come up, grab a cup, get one, and go back to your seat. We have a little bit more to talk about.
I knew that.
Going back to Harrison.
Yeah. I just want
Okay, Sergeant Major is going to explain some of the rules of the grog.
So tonight is not the last night you're going to see this. If anybody messes up during the week, somebody says, hey, can you go grab my shoes? Can you go grab my hydro? Can you go grab something of mine? You're like, no, why don't you do it? I don't want to.
Quibbling.
That's considered quibbling. And
Quibbling.
you can call it on anybody. And if you call quibbling, we have our judge over here who decides if it's worthy enough. And if it's worthy, you got to drink more. And it's going to be sitting out stewing all week.
Oh, yeah.
So quibble well.
Quibble early. Quibble early.
And if you argue with the judge, he says you got to drink, you're like, no, you can't make me do it. You got to deal with the SOA, good old Punisher over there.
I didn't do it.
I used to be a prison guard, so please do it. I want to see it. You can make money off of that. But,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I've asked our Supreme Allied Commander, Mr. Eric Engler, to give our toast so that we can take our grog, and so I will let him take a statement.
It's an honor to be out here and be with you guys. I came to just watch and was dragged up here by Mr. Beadle and Rev here, and it's an honor to be brought into this family that you guys have here. I have to make a toast, so I'm going to make this toast to the approximately 1,300,000 soldiers that have given their lives since the founding of our country for what we have here, what we can do here, what we can speak here, and everything we have, we owe to them. So, to those.
Tasty. Yeah. Hey, discouraging comments about the grog results in a quibbling. Do I hear anything else?
Fucking the best grog I've ever had.
It was delicious.